Hi, this is Amy Romeo from the jewelry making and craft blog amyromeo.com, and on this channel I share fun and easy jewelry making and craft projects. In today's video I have a follow-up to a video I made earlier that's very popular about how to make faux leather stud earrings with a Cricut. In today's video I'm going to show you an updated way of making the studs without a Cricut and using some new innovative products out on the market that are going to make stud making easier, quicker, and way more fun. So if you're ready to dive in to making stud earrings with faux leather, let's get started. So this video is a really quick follow-up video to a video I did a couple years back where I showed you how to make faux leather stud earrings with a Cricut cutting machine or without. But I just wanted to follow up to that video with an easy way to make stud earrings without a Cricut and using some new materials and techniques that I've learned since I made that video. So we'll go ahead and get started. I will link to my Cricut stud video for you because I have a circle template. If you want to cut the circles with your Cricut, I have a template for you and you can grab that from the link. But I wanted to show you, so I made some pretty faux leather earrings. I made these using my Cricut, but I used some red and white striped and some blue and white star faux leather, and I had some extra, and I thought this would be a great way to show you quickly how to make the stud earrings. So I have these two little hand punches that I got from Amazon. These are cool because these two come in a set, and basically one of them will punch a 12mm hole circle and one will cut a 10mm circle. And this is great because the findings, the stud earring findings that you most commonly will see when you're shopping for these is a 12mm size, which is this size. This is the most common size. And then you'll also see a little bit of a smaller size, which is 10mm, and you can find 8mm as well. But these are the two kind of most common sizes, 12mm being the most popular. So these two punches come together, and what's cool about them is if you flip them over, you can slide this little sort of cover and you can see exactly where you're punching. So I have my little scraps here, and I'm just going to show you how to place this. I'm going to put my little red and white stripe here in here, and you can see right in the window where it's going to punch. So I sort of want a little bit of red and a little bit of white, see, just like that, and then you squeeze and you punch. And it might not punch cleanly all the way through. See how this one has a teeny tiny string that it's holding on by? But it does a really good job. It gets it 99% of the way done. And then I can just use little small curved scissors to trim the rest. And then look here, I'll just take my little curved scissors, trim up the back. It's not that big of a deal because these edges are going to be concealed in the edge of the bevel setting for these earrings. Okay, so there's our little 12mm red and white striped circle. And I'll repeat with the stars. And this is great for using up these little tiny scraps of faux leather that you would normally throw away. If you sell earrings or if you make faux leather earrings, these are also great gifts for your customers, like a little thank you for buying gift. They always appreciate these. These settings cost pennies and you were gonna throw away the scraps anyway. So it's a great way to say thank you to your customer and use up materials you would have thrown away anyway. So again, it almost punched all the way through. There was just a tiny thread left. And I'll just trim up some of those little edges. And you can see how many more circles I can get on here. What I like about this, rather than cutting with the Cricut, is you can position it so that you're cutting an exact part of your pattern if you wanted to. So now that I have my little circles cut out, I like to put these on an earring card to help me glue them. This is an earring card I actually cut myself on my Cricut, and I have this file in my shop. I'll link to it for you, but I just cut these myself out of cardstock, which is really easy and fun. So I'm just going to put this on the card like this, and then you need a good craft glue. So honestly, it doesn't really matter what you use. I've got some Fabri-Tac, I'll probably use that. I've got some Bearly Art Glue, this works. E6000 works. Gorilla Glue works, whatever you want to use. But I do like to have it on a card when I'm gluing because it does make it easier. And you just need a little bit. I like to put it here in the setting, just sort of a dab. A little dab. we go. I'm not being super neat, but you get the point. And then I'll just pick this up, drop it in, and then what it does is it sort of gets sucked up into the edges of the bezel. So it makes it look really neat and tidy. You want to press down. You know, you don't want to have so much glue that it starts seeping up around the edges. If you do, you can just kind of wipe it up. Press down. And that's it. Isn't that cute? Super easy. Now, a lot of times these settings, you'll see they'll come with a glass cabochon. And this is an example. It's that sort of domed glass shape. And I don't recommend using these on top of faux leather, although you could. If you put it on top, it sort of magnifies the pattern and the color. But on the faux leather really sits inside the bezel and takes up a lot of room, and it comes up to the top of the edge there. I know it's a little hard to see, but if you put this on top, then it's really just sticking up outside of the edge of the bezel, and it doesn't look very good and it's not very secure. These are really more for if you're cutting a circle made of cardstock or photo paper, something really thin that you're putting in there, and then you put this glass cabochon on top. So for the faux leather studs, I don't recommend using these, although you can if you want to. So I've made these ones, and I wanted to show you two more really cool products that are new to the marketplace that you can use when you're making stud earrings. And these are from, a lot of suppliers have these, but the ones that I'm using are from one of my favorite faux leather suppliers. They don't sponsor me, I just love their stuff, so I buy all the things. They're actually where I got the stars and the stripes. So again, if you wanted to cut a bunch of these, you could cut them on a Cricut with the circle template that I have on my blog. You could cut them with the punch, or they make these really cute stud sheets. So the entire sheet, both different versions, are designed to cut out with a punch. So here we've got circles, and you'll see that the circles are larger than the 12mm size. And that's so when you punch, you don't get to the edge. You know, you're only punching the inside of the pattern, which is really nice. So this is a whole sheet of circles. I'm showing you 4th of July, obviously, but they make these for every single season imaginable, and then lots of just prints and patterns and things that are more seasonless. Then they have a whole sheet with repeating patterns, again, that you can use with these little window, the little window sort of on these punches, and you can line up your pattern exactly. So let me show you how these work. And then I wanted to point out these larger ones, you'll want to turn your punch upside down. This is the 12mm punch. And let me just show you how it looks. So if I put it on the USA, the word USA is centered inside of the punch, and you can see a little bit of white space around it. If I were to put the the 10mm, which is smaller, you're barely gonna see the USA, and it's gonna be a little bit cut off in the edges. So what I recommend is, if you're using these patterns that are a little bit larger, I recommend 12mm studs. And then these that are sort of all over patterns and they're really small, these look great in the 10mm size. So let me just show you how these work. Let's see. Let me see if I can cut out the little hat down here. So I'm basically just lining this up, getting the little Patriot hat there inside of the circle, and punch. Here we go, we got one. And these you'll want to, you know, sort of cut as you go so you can get closer and closer. This little punch will only let you punch about, I don't know, a ½ inch from the edge of your faux leather, so you'll need to trim as you go. Here we go. So I've got those two cute little 4th of July hats punched out, and those will fit in the 12mm bezel. I don't need to glue them since I already showed you that part, but I'll just show you how cute they are when they fit inside there. Isn't that adorable? And then for the smaller ones with the 10mm punch, I can just punch right here down the side, get the little pattern inside the circle, and punch. There we go. And again, we need to just trim up the edges, but that's no big deal. And I did want to show you how cute the little 10mm are. Isn't that cute on a little set of 3, a card with 3 different pair, and you can see how they fit in there so nicely, the little patterns. And let's see, I wonder if you can see how they look flush. They look really flush, they fit very nicely in the little bezel. Finally, I wanted to show you, you can also buy these same little stud bezel settings, but with a loop at the bottom. Do you see how that one has the loop at the bottom? And this is great for attaching something to the bottom, another earring. So for example, I've got these, I made little 10mm studs with this pattern and the punch, and then I attached it because it has a loop to a jump ring to a pair of my patriotic flip-flop earrings. Isn't that cute how that looks? Now this patriotic flip-flop earring SVG is on my blog, and I have a written tutorial for it. This is actually free in my blog's resource library, so I will leave a link for you if you want to go ahead and grab that. This was really popular last summer and continues to be popular this summer. I did want to mention, if you're buying these little bezel studs with the loop, you want the loop to be facing this way. So the loop is parallel, it's going in the same direction as the circle. Sometimes you'll find these where the loop is turned, and if the loop is turned, then you're going to need 2 jump rings to connect this bezel to your earrings, and that's less desirable. So I'll link to all of these materials, and I'll link to the stud bezels that I like from Amazon that have the loop facing the right way, and that's how I got these little flip-flops to hang correctly from those stud bezels, and with only using 1 jump ring. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this really quick video. I just wanted to show you how these fun new stud size faux leather sheets are perfect for making studs, either 12mm size, 10mm size, or to use them as a dangle. I hope you enjoyed this project and you're going to make some faux leather stud earrings yourself. Remember, I'll have a link to all the materials that I used, and I'll also have a link to that cute flip-flop SVG in my resource library, and I'll show you how to go ahead and grab that. Just check the description for all of the links that you need. If you like this video, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, because I love to share fun and easy jewelry making and craft projects with you. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.